St Andrews Cathedral, built in 1836, is the oldest surviving Anglican cathedral that was built. The construction of the church building was funded by Scottish merchants. As such, the church was named after St Andrew, the patron saint of Scotland, an apostle and brother of St Peter. However, the first church was deemed unsafe due to it being struck by lightning twice. Thus, Bishop Daniel Wilson of Calcutta and Metropolitan of India laid another foundation for the church on the 4th of March 1856. We believe that the church must be of very high importance as it was built the second time after 18 years. By building an 8-acre cathedral in Singapore, it also helped to spread Christianity and let Singapore have a diverse cultural way of life. The cathedral was also built to signify the vision Raffles, the founder of Singapore, had for Singapore. It signified for Singapore to become a place of considerable, just like how the cathedral was built. The cathedral is a place of history as it is one of Singapore's few surviving examples of English Neo-Gothic architecture, which consists of a nave with north and south aisles. It is a testimony to the cultural tradition and significance of the church. Not only was it the largest cathedral in Singapore, the cathedral was also known for showing the contribution of the Scottish. The cathedral served the needs of the Anglican community and housed the head bishop of the Anglican diocese. There are also 3 stained glasses in the apse dedicated to 3 important figures in Singapore's early colonial history. The cathedral turned into a makeshift emergency hospital during the Japanese occupation, serving the needs of the wounded. In conclusion, the cathedral played a very important role in the history of Singapore.
Let's go to part 2 of task 1. Here, we are going to identify structures on the building that are congruent and explain why the structures we selected are congruent. Triangular windows of the church are congruent as the bottom left right angles of all 3 windows are equal due to the reason that they are corresponding angles. The bottom right angles are also equal to each other as they are corresponding angles. The base of the triangular shapes are also equal as when we use pixels to measure, they are all equal. Thus, I can prove it to you that all 3 windows are congruent using the ASA congruent test. The shorter squarish windows on the wall of the church are congruent. I will prove it using the ASA test. The bottom left right angles of all 3 windows are equal due to the reason that they are corresponding angles. The bottom right angles are also equal to each other as their corresponding angles. The base of the triangular shapes are also equal as when we use pixels to measure, they are of the same size. Next, the cones on all 4 corners of the huge cone are congruent to each other and similar to the larger cone. I used the SSS test to do this. Again, we used the help of technology to use pixels to measure the sides of all the triangular shaped cones. In task 1 part 3, we are asked to provide a plan of the building we selected on one side of a sheet of A4 paper and also state the scale in the form of 1:n.
The scale of the building
is 1:3. Firstly, we drew our floor plan on a piece of graph paper. This helped us in choosing the scale. We chose the scale by counting the number of grids in the graph paper. There were 22 1 cm grids. Then we took the total length of the cathedral, which is 65.58, and divided it by 22. We got 3 approximately. This meant that a 1 cm square in the graph paper was equal to 3 meters. Thus, our ratio of the scale is 1:3.